Ashley, thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah, man. Good to be here, lad.
So for the viewers and the people who don't know who you are, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself, about your childhood, where you're from, your upbringing, and things like that?
Yeah, man, no worries. So, my name's Ashley Morris. I was brought up I was actually born in Ratcliffe, moved to Manchester early, a place called Moston. Childhood was a bit tough, Dad was very violent, grew up with a good mother, but Dad was disgrace, basically. Not a very good role model to ourselves, to our, mother, to brothers, to sisters. We moved to Manchester young. So child was a bit messy, I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 12, very violent as a kid. I was getting kicked out of school, fighting, police always involved. At the time, I didn't even go to school, then obviously I got kicked out, and he went from there, really. Got medicated for the ADHD around 12 years old. Kind of helped a little bit to an extent, but obviously you're still young.
Yeah.
Your mind's still playful, and you're up to mischief. So yeah, upbringing was quite tough, should we say. We didn't have much. Grew up with nothing kind of thing, but mum works endless hours to try and make ends meet. But yeah, that's the childhood, really. You grow up around your surroundings and you become the people you surround yourself by, really.
Of course, bro. So, so when you got diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 12, can you remember what that was like, or can you remember how that felt and having to take medication at such a young age?
Yeah, so I remember slight little bits, especially because I got the paperwork again not so long ago, about 6 months ago, and I read through it all. So obviously, as a kid, you don't want to be, diagnosed. Well, not that you don't want to be diagnosed. You don't want to take medication.
Yeah.
You're resilient to it, like your mum's trying to force it. I actually remember my mum putting it in my mushy peas because I didn't want to take it and hide it. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, it's a bit of a wild situation where when I was reading through the notes, apparently I had my hoodie over my head telling the doctor to fuck off. Just being horrible towards obviously people who were trying to help me, which is, growing up now, it's pretty wrong that I was doing. But obviously you're a child. You don't know right from wrong. So in my eyes, I was thinking of forcing something on me, something I didn't want to take. And obviously when I was taking it as a kid, you don't really have a voice about the situation. So you can take a medicine and really you can't really voice how it's making you feel, what it's making like. And from what I remember, it made me very antisocial. I just wanted to stay in and fix things when I was on the medication. So it took my personality away in a way. And, I just didn't want to socialise, didn't want to do anything. But then obviously when the medication was running out, then the temper came back, the hyperactivity came back, the loss of focus and concentration came back. So it just become a vicious cycle of medicated, not want to do anything. Then obviously by night time being, hyperactive, up to no good, up to mischief, going out getting arrested, just doing stupid stuff, really. So, yeah, the medication was good in one sense, but in the other sense it was not good because I couldn't voice that. It wasn't the right medication for me at the time. Whereas, obviously, now I'm an adult, I can voice that opinion. So I've been on, obviously, multiple meds since an adult. And, I finally think I found the one that works for me, but you have to go through the full process of that to find out which works for you and your mindset. Otherwise, you can become a zombie and take away your whole personality, really.
Yeah, so being a child, and you come from the same generation and era as me, like before the internet, before social media really took over. So there wasn't much of this. And I'm not really a fan for awareness. I don't really advocate for awareness. I like action. So, and there was none of the two when we was growing up. If you had ADHD, it was like the old-fashioned version, like you was rebellious, you had a temper, you was hyperactive, not like the hundreds of strains that they've got now.
Yeah.
Like you've got the old school ADHD and stuff like that, but without access to the internet, like you were saying, it's hard for you to make sense of what you're actually going through as a young man. So having said that, what do you think in terms of characteristics transcended and carried on into your adult life?
Well, I reckon it's a bit different. Like, obviously, this new generation, it's all self-diagnosed. You get these people on Instagram day in the life of a girl with ADHD, and they just think it's giddy. It's only because it's trendy. You can't self-diagnose. So you wouldn't be, I don't know, let's say, you wouldn't have a headache and self-diagnose with a brain tumour, would you? So why can you self-diagnose with ADHD and tell people you've got that when there's people out there that actually have the help and actually have got it? And, there's a dark side of ADHD people don't understand. people think it's all this hyperactivity and stuff. It's never to do with that because as a person with ADHD, I got diagnosed with severe ADHD and traits of autism. So me, as a child, it was a bit different. I was violent. I didn't know how to control stuff like that, but I didn't know how to control my emotions and stuff. As an adult, same thing. Can't regulate my emotions, should we say. Not saying I get upset or anything like that. It's just I can't regulate temper, can't regulate, say, stability with relationships. And obviously, as an adult, because you've got 100 things going on in your mind, this is the dark side of it. You wake up with 100 things in your mind, which creates anxiety. And it's a vicious cycle where then, you can suffer with, anxiety attacks, overthinking, self-sabotaging things in your life. You can't stick to one job because as soon as something, you crave dopamine with, if you've got ADHD. Now, that if the work's no longer a challenge, then you want a new job because that's no longer a challenge. There's no dopamine hit, so you're bored of it. You don't want to get up for it. Now, people obviously think, ADHD is just this hyperactive thing. It's not. Like I said, you've got your anxiety. You've got something called RSD. It's called rejection sensitivity disorder. Now, it's not what it sounds like. It's not about being rejected or anything like that. It's basically where you can't regulate your emotions. It could be a message that's short and you take it to heart, and basically your adrenaline starts running wild, and then your heart starts racing, and you overthink, and you create scenarios that are not true. That's a dark side of ADHD that people don't understand. And, I hate how it's trendy on social media because ADHD, yeah, it can be a superpower. You're very good at practical things. You learn things fast. You've got a good personality, very bubbly. But then there comes a dark side of things where, you can't sleep at night because obviously your melatonin doesn't start working at a certain time that regulate like everyone else's. So, you have late nights, early mornings, less lack of sleep, which makes ADHD symptoms worse. And obviously, you get the anxiety. You struggle with relationships. You struggle with friendships. You struggle with everything, really. Your attention span, your concentration. And then you also crave that dopamine hit, which could be, bad things as well. Like, you could be up to dangerous stuff. And you don't think about it till you've actually done it. Like, obviously, it's put me in a few tricky situations where, I've been involved in violence. I've been involved in bad things. I've been arrested on multiple occasions. I've been to prison. I've done prison time because of the impulsive decisions that I've made. Obviously, there's different things involved in that to do with upbringing and everything else. But initially, it all boils down to this ADHD thing because you make irrational decisions and you can't control that. But then you have to face the consequences afterwards once you've done it, which you don't think of at the time if you're doing it.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think to some degree that the ADHD makes you fearless of the consequences and you just like... You're very impulsive, like you just react without even thinking about like the penalty that you're going to have to pay down the line? Does it make you like it's sort of fearless in a respect?
Yeah, in some aspects, yeah. Like I would say that because you can do something, and like I say, you won't think the consequences of the actions that you're doing. You just go and do it. Someone could say, "Let's go and do this," and you'd be like, "Yeah, let's go and do it." And afterwards, you're thinking, "Fuck, I fucked up."
So
here.
more so oblivious than fearless. Yeah.
So it's just like
Yeah.
we still think we still have a conscious and stuff like that. I would say less than most normal people without ADHD, but you mix that with the anxiety, then you're overthinking a whole scenario and the situations, and it goes on, and then you've got this massive anxiety surge for a week. For me, it's not, I've never suffered with anxiety or depression. I've always been a happy person. I've suffered with anxiety, but not the mental symptoms. It's always been the physical. So for me, I get adrenaline rushes all day long, pins and needles, which then obviously, then you get less sleep and eventually it builds up on you. To one point in my life, I ended up getting sectioned because of it, because I wasn't getting the help I needed to, at this point, they basically told me I need to get re-diagnosed with ADHD, which I don't know why, because surely that would be,
on your record.
Yeah, it doesn't go, it's been on my record, but the doctor said, oh yeah, we can't find your record. I went through the NHS, they said they couldn't find it, but then miraculously they found it when I went to see my psychiatrist, who I see, which is a lovely woman, done massive things for me. She's been a massive help. But obviously it's, with going through that re-diagnosis, it ended up being the ADHD that was causing the anxiety because it's all linked. So now obviously I think less. And, there's not all them thoughts going through your head in the morning. But, I feel sorry for people that have to go through this process. Like it took me the past 5 years to get through this and, see the light really. because people are on this waiting list, or because of these people that self-diagnose as well. They want to get on this waiting list just to say they've got something like it's a good thing to have when it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how people glorify ADHD and, you know, want to have it. Like, it's like, you know, losing a leg and what, I have no leg. Why would you want to do that?
Do you think they're using it as like an excuse and a cop-out? They want to attach themselves to having ADHD so then they can excuse themselves from actually doing something with their lives?
I just think it's a trend on social media, really. I mean, to be fair, I feel like you've got all them people that crying videos when they set up the tripod and then go tell them going through depression and stuff like
mental.
that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? If you're ever upset, why would you just start whipping your phone out and, you know what I mean? Like,
filming
it doesn't
yourself
happen, does it,
crying.
bro? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. Like, and I feel like because a few people have done it now about this ADHD thing, everyone else is jumping on the bandwagon. It's like it's a trend, it's a fashion. And that'll die out, and the next one will come in. It might be something else soon.
Yeah.
That people like autism or something. Do you know what I mean? That the next thing will be that. So it's just wild. It's just a stupid trend, really. But I just think it ruins it for people that have actually struggling out there.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm trying to help them people. You know, like if someone's really struggling, they come to me. You know, I try and put them through the right to choose pathway. Because obviously a lot of people go pay private, but you know the bill racks up. People just think you pay for the diagnosis and that's it. That's not it. You have to pay for tuition. So every time you go and see that doctor about your medication or appointment or a checkup, you have to pay, and it racks up. People think it's just going to be that £1,000 diagnosis. No, it racks up to a fair few grand. So obviously you've got the right to choose now, which is, you know, it's a pathway to get through. The NHS have to fund it and it goes private. So there is that option. Whereas if you go on the NHS, the waiting list is actually 7 years now, which is absolutely...
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
7 years?
Oh, 7 years.
Is that just for a diagnosis?
That's just to get seen for your first appointment. Do you know what I mean? Then you have to wait to get medicated after that, which is another 6 months to a year.
Wow.
From what I've heard. So it's like, luckily me, you know, I got my appointment. And then because I've previously been on my medication and I managed to get my notes from the doctors, which was actually from the receptionist.
Yeah.
She found them, but the doctor couldn't. And there's like 40 pages of it that she basically had my appointment and medicated me from that day. So I'm quite lucky to get seen that way. And like I said, the woman who I see is very careful and she actually cares about the patient. A lovely woman. So I'm lucky to have that woman. And, you know, I can email anytime I want. Or for medication, or my side effects, I can email her. You know, when she's very, you know, patient with me, which is good because, you know, I'll send her emails and emails, you know.
No, it's right.
Yeah, she's calm.
So, in terms of going to prison with ADHD, we're in prison, for those people who don't know, you spend a lot of time behind a closed door, in a small cell, in a small room, probably not much bigger than this room that we're sat in now, mate. So, like, how did you manage that through, was you being medicated inside and stuff like that? Or did you find a process? Was you training? Was you channeling your energy into anything while you was in prison?
Do you know what? I went through COVID, so for me, there was no gym. Like, no gym sessions, mate. So for me, luckily, I met my best mate in there. So it's like we was literally making weights out of like broomsticks, 2 litre water bottles on the end, getting everyone's water bottles tying together until the screws took them. Then we was going robbing a new broom, you know, robbing the handles, cutting bed sheets up, doing all sorts just to make our weights. And, you know, we was doing body weight circuits in the pad. And obviously e-boxed, you know, I've done a bit in the past and stuff like that. So we had something to, you know, do was making pads out of pillars. You know, I had the pillars on.
Yeah.
Like rock side. So, do you know what I mean? So we was making pads out of them, padding each other. I'm just getting through the jail time. Like, to be fair, mate, I hate to say it, but prison's easy, man. Like, I was bouncing around that I'm a happy, giddy person and I knew the consequences of my actions. So for me, yeah, I got locked up, but nothing's forever, is it? Hard times don't last forever. So, you know, I was looking at a massive sentence originally. So I thought my life was done, bro. So I just thought, you make the most of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're there. We've got a roof over our head. We're getting fed. You know what I mean? There's people out there with nothing. So for me, I was just bouncing about the wing, not even asked. You know what I mean? It was like getting about with, you know, all the lads in Walton and stuff like that. So, yeah, I met a few good people in there. Time flew by, to be fair. Obviously, it was just like, you just got to make the most of it. Like, training your pad, keep that head stable. Because I feel like training's a massive thing, especially with someone with ADHD. You need to be productive. If you're not productive, that's when your head starts falling off. And don't get me wrong, mate, like, through COVID times, I've seen a lot of sad things inside. A lot of people took their own life. I've seen a guy that actually cut his throat open on the landing in front of everyone.
Wow.
Because the mental health team that's supposed to help you in there never came to see him. And it happened a lot in there, and, you know, like the fact that he had to do that, and then I don't know how the fuck he survived it, bro, but he survived it. I seen him in Preston afterwards, and I was like, wow, bro, are you alive? Because he literally opened his neck. Like, everyone was chucking towels, like, everyone was trying to help. Scrooge, like, obviously screaming, get back in your cells, get back in your cells. And this guy was literally just bleeding out, bro. He survived it. But you know what? He was a good kid. You know, he had his problems and stuff, but he was a good kid, so that 23-hour bang up, some days it could be 2 days bang up. If the, you know, what the fuck do you call them now? If the response team came in and was doing checks on the wings, you're locked up for a few days, mate. So, you know, you can get in there. So obviously, you just have to have your little dodgy movie chips and your little blower and that, don't you? So, just to get through it, really. And then it's past time, really. But, you know, it's just one of them, really, with prison. It's what you make of it. It's like anything, you adapt in it.
Yeah.
If you're strong mentally up there, you can adapt to any situation. And you can get through any situation. With life, with jail, doesn't matter where you are. Any situation you can get through if you just stay strong up here and you think, you know, the light. When you're at the bottom, bro, the only way is back up. So that's just the way life is, isn't it?
Yeah, powerful, man. Powerful. So being released from prison, obviously, you've got a big following on social media. I've seen you leading walks, leading fitness classes, you know, really like a hands-on, I wouldn't say influencer as you will, but you do have a good influence, and considering that you have got your own problems, your issues and your mental health and stuff like that, and you still manage to put that aside and then put other people first. I think that's a powerful thing. But when did that journey start, you know, building your name on social media, building a following and actually deciding that, you know, because you put a post up the other day saying ripped 365 days a year and all that, and I was jealous, bro. I can't lie. So when did that start? Did that that's one of the positives that you took from prison, or did you start a fitness journey when you got out?
Do you know what? I've always been a positive person on social media. Like, before this account, I had another one with like 145k on, but obviously the court used it against me. Started saying in court basically that I was using it to sell drugs through. So obviously, like, I basically got my mate to delete it because I knew the paper was going to make a mockery of it, innit?
Okay.
So I thought, I'm not giving them that thing when they put that little fucking headline up, like,
Smart
you know what I
move.
mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I got made to that, and I started, obviously, my next one when I got out, and obviously, I went into PTing, and I started helping, like, gyms build up, and I started my walks for mental health, and I started, like, obviously, creating my classes. Now, obviously, I had a good community going on at David Lloyd. I used to create a class where, you know, it was kettlebells in the heat, and I was pushing people mentally through when people were giving up, you know, I wasn't being subtle about it. Like, you can think at David Lloyd and Chill, everyone was like, I was saying, get the fuck up, or I'll start recording and put it on social media. Do you know what I mean? And that made people come to the class. Every single class was fully booked. To one point, I was getting other PTs trying to shut the class down, going to health and safety and stuff. Because, you know, there was hating a little bit. I was smacking it. I'm a new kid up there, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I smashed it. Even a gym coming and awarded me an award saying, Ash, congratulations for the community built inside this gym.
Nice, man.
Obviously, the walks I used to put them on, it got a bit cold, so obviously I had to stop him through the winter. I'm going to start them up again soon. And it's good to say, even if people have got no friends, you know, they're suffering with mental health, it's just a chance for people to open up, because I don't feel like enough men open up. Like me, I'm pretty open book. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care what people think of me, innit? Like, for me, I'm very, very open person. I don't care. I'm not scared about being vulnerable.
Yeah, respect, man.
So, in my eyes, like, if I can speak, when I put posts up, people think I'm the last person that expect to have mental health problems. And that to me makes me want to help people more, because we all going through something. No one's life's perfect, but, you know, on the social media, it shows that a lot of people's lives are perfect, and believe me, they have their own troubles too.
Yeah.
Everyone's going through something, whether that be a breakup, financial, you know, loss, you know, someone could have died in the family. It could be any childhood trauma. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Someone's going through something. So when people feel like they have to keep it in, I feel like people need to open up more, and that's why I started putting on the walk. So it's just a walk and talk. You're not pressured into doing anything. You just talk, and then eventually, once you get to know that person, people start opening up. It's like when we was in the sauna the other day. You know, we're just talking.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how it should be. I was in the sauna the other day with my other mate. There's 10 lads in there, and we all were just talking about life, mate. And like, guys are literally opening up. It's just, you know, you put men around men, and men think that they can't open up. But you put men around 5 other men, one starts talking, the other 4 start talking. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, creating that community.
Yeah, it's good. I think it is. It's the unity of men that doesn't give them, like, the unity of men's missing because there's not a lot of opportunity to speak. A lot of men are isolated now because they're too busy making a living, providing for the families, trying to train, trying to keep up with social media. There's that many things spinning that many plates. They don't really have an opportunity to really speak and open up with what's going on. So putting on walks and putting on fitness classes like what you do, it's massive, especially for men moving forward. Now I think because you see little other people are like following suit, opening little communities and stuff like that, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I think, like you said, like men need to be around other men. It's not enough. It's not happening enough, is it, bro?
Nah, it's not. But I think over the years, like, people are doing it more. Like, let's say, for example, bro, you do the same thing, and respect for that, man, because obviously it's one of them. Like, there's a lot more people doing the walks now. I see a lot more people doing it, and it's not about. Obviously, when I was doing my walks, I'll be honest, I had a group chat, about 100 people in there. But people started trying to, because people saying they get a bit of clout, I wasn't doing it for clout. People started posting their own groups in my groups that I took on walks and trying to benefit off the back of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also obviously I used to delete the messages and say, oh, listen, this is not one of them. You know what I mean? Even though the guy said to me, post a group chat saying that he supports a charity. Yeah. Can everyone add his group, try and battle it? But I didn't support this charity, he was lying. I looked into it, do you know what I mean? So some people out there for other things. I'm not a gym there out here to try and help people. I'm not doing it for financial gain or anything like that or clout. If I can help even one person, bro, like for me, that's life changing for me because I've helped. So you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know that they could be their darkest times. They could be right at the end. Do you know what I mean? If you just be nice to that one person, show them a bit of friendship, a bit of kindness, that can change their whole mindset up there. And that could get them through their last day that they thought was their last day.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like I've seen a lot of people, like I say, like I've seen an awful lot of old friends and recent friends take their life because of the pressures of life. When really, it's not about what you've got. It's just about being internally happy, really. Because I've had money, bro. I've been without money. It doesn't make you any happier. Having a nice whip, having a nice watch or whatever, it does not make you happier in life.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You just got to find things you enjoy in life. And I think there's a lot of pressure on people with the dating scene as well. Like a lot of people put pressure on themselves. But you've got to remember that we're in 2026. Like attention is a new validation for some people.
It's currency, innit? Attention's currency, innit, bro?
It's just wild, mate, the way it's going. Like, bro, I can't chat to a bird, that's crazy. That attention, there's no chat there. You could be Marilyn Monroe. You know what I mean? Margaret Robbie. If you got no personality, I ain't saying it. You need a connection.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of social media, it's all going off image now. People literally whip up someone just for image or what materialistic things they've got. It works on both ways, do you know what I mean? That's a sad reality these days. And, for men, if they haven't got that materialistic things or they'll start putting themselves down. If a girl hasn't got a perfect body or a perfect nose or, a rack on them, they start putting themselves down. And that goes all in hand with this mental health thing because they're scrolling constantly. And then you're seeing these things that are not them, but because they're like spending time on that, it'll show more of it with the algorithm.
Yeah.
And they start putting themselves down.
Yeah.
Which I think causes a massive thing with mental health and people getting anxiety and depression because they want their lives to be like someone else's when you're never ever going to be that person. You're an individual.
Yeah.
And it's good to be different, but like I put a post up the other day, like just be you, innit? Like be different. Don't be, a lot of people are afraid to be different or afraid to post stuff that actually they want to post because they want to fit in with this sheep movement.
Yeah.
But if you just being yourself, I promise you now, people, you will be much more happier just being yourself and be you. So you be true to yourself, and that'll make you a better person and a better mindset.
There's only so long you can live up to the trending topics on social media. There's only so long you can put on a fake image before it burns your authentic self out, and you really end up like realizing one day that you spent all this time trying to be like everybody else that you forgot who you are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, bro?
I agree, bro. Yeah, I think that's what it is. People try and be like other people. They try and have their personality and traits, when realistically that's not in you. So it's just forced.
So I want to touch on social media. So you briefly touched on having a larger account than the one you've got now, but you've got, how many is it, like 50-something thousand on Instagram?
Bro, I don't even know, just run with it.
I think it's like 50K. I had a look, yes. So like, What was the journey like on social media getting to that point, first of all?
I started off to be fair, like when obviously when I was come out, I started social media, and obviously I just started doing like talking videos, which I've not done any for a bit, which is why I'm trying to obviously I'm jumping on the podcast, get it back out there, because unfortunately I was dealing with my own problems. I was helping everyone else out, but not helping myself out. So, but now I'm back. I'm all right now. I like to think so anyway. So
Come on, man.
So now I'm trying to help other people again, and this is the start of it with you today. So obviously I started doing my talking videos, started setting up the classes, and then it spread the movement. I was putting classes on at other gyms for free as well, like in my own time, and then that's when it just started growing really, because people. I just try and be more authentic. I try, I speak from my heart, and I don't just try and put something. I don't do content that everyone else is doing. I'm not even bothered about content. I don't give a shit if it gets 10 likes, bro.
Yeah.
If I can help a person, like I said to you last time, I can help a person. I don't care about clout. I don't care about social media. But at the end of the day, I've got a base there, and I keep saying to people, I need to use it for positivity to help people. Because what's the point in having that and not helping people?
Of course.
There's no point in just posting topless pictures of myself. You know what I mean? Like, just doesn't do anything, does it?
Still get a few of them on there, though, don't you?
Yeah, a few of them, of course, bro. Come on. Got to show them that.
So you just touched on something then about using your account in a positive way to help other people. So do you ever get like messages from people saying you inspire them, or any sort of feedback from social media when you are actually active on there?
Yeah, so I get messages all the time, especially when I put up like the talking videos as well. It's like people say, bro, I never thought you would have gone through something like this, like a guy like you. Do you know what I mean? That's not me saying I'm like some tough guy or anything, do you know what I mean? But, I look that way, don't I? We all know that. And,
you fit the bill, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm a mentally tough guy. I've been in prison. So people don't think you're going to go through something like that. And in fact, actually all this anxiety only started after all that happened. I wasn't getting any anxiety before the prison sentence. Like, it was more after. That's what it just literally. I woke up one night, thought I was having a heart attack. It was a panic attack. I didn't know until I went to the doctors, and then it started happening multiple times a day, uncontrollable. And listen, you could be the toughest, hardest motherfucker in the world, yeah, in Manchester, wherever. Listen, when that anxiety hits you and it gets in your head, mate, you're vulnerable, mate. I don't give a fuck how hard a person is or anything like that. Once that hits you and that adrenaline rush hits you and that sense of doom, you could be the toughest guy in that room, mate. That's gonna get you.
Yeah.
And it's tough to push through because you have to retrain your brain and retrain yourself to tell you nothing bad's gonna happen. Because at the moment in time you feel like you're having a heart attack, or you feel like, I don't know, something really bad's gonna happen. And only people that have been through it, this is another thing that winds up, because you have to go through it to understand that feeling. Like, there's people out there that say, oh, there's nothing to worry about, mate. It's all right saying that, but that's a person who's never been through it.
Yeah.
There's a difference between anxious and anxiety.
Yeah.
Anxious is the nervous feeling. Anxiety is panic attacks, adrenaline rushes, pins and needles. There's loads of symptoms that go with it, And it's a tough thing to get through. You have to retrain your brain and, train yourself up to breathe. Do your breathing, there's different techniques out there. And I think it takes a lot of time to learn about yourself, your mind, to get to that. And like, you can go to the doctors, they can put you through CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, and they talk about these triggers. Well, for me, there's no triggers. I just used to wake up that way.
Yeah,
and
same.
do you know what I mean? You wake up, you're literally anxious.
Comes over you like a wave,
You're anxious about feeling anxious straight away. Do you know what I mean? So it starts.
Because you know it's happening. You're obsessed about it, don't you?
And then you have your morning coffee, and then boom, anxiety is heightened. Well, immediately it sends me to sleep because I've got ADHD. But, like, it makes me tired, coffee, but I like the taste of it. But it's it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to push through, and it does take a lot to push through. I'd rather go 12 rounds on Mike Tyson, live another year of anxiety and get my head punched in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because that'd be over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that mental trauma from the anxiety is very hard to push through. And I think it's sad that people can't get help through the NHS for years, because they say these adverts out there, and there's these crisis teams and all that, but you don't get the help, mate. I'll be honest with you, you do not get the help by the NHS. Yeah, you're on wait. Who people go to the doctors, right? This is what I hear anyway. So people go to the doctors and they ask for help, and then they get put on a 2-year waiting list for therapy. Make it make sense. That person hasn't got 2 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Might be, you know, they might be able to be thinking about this deep depression like state, and who's got
Might
2 years?
already be a breaking point in it, bro.
Breaking point, bro.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? So who's going to wait 2 years? So after the doctor say that, and then say, here's some sertraline, here's some citalopram, here's some fluoxetine, throw some medication at you. But then obviously they're throwing that at people, and they need to realise that any medication like that, SSRI, SNRIs, it gets worse before it gets better. So if that person is at the breaking point and you put them on that medication, they're already at breaking point, and you're going to push them past that.
Yeah,
and they wonder why so many people take their own lives, or, you know, go spiral and end up getting like sectioned and stuff. It's wild out there, mate, and it's sad. We're in a, you know, it's sad that our NHS system's broken.
Yeah.
And even doctors and psychiatrists even say that themselves. So for them to say it, it shows that it's truly broken.
It's like when you're going through it, when you're having an anxiety attack. I've had a full-on panic attack when I was driving, mate, and I couldn't drive. I had to stop, mate, and I was hyperventilating and stuff like that. But the more it started to happen, and then I understood and trained my brain, like what you said, that it's going to pass.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing. And no doctor, no NHS, nobody's going to be able to program your mind to know that you are going to get through it and you are going to be okay, you can for yourself. And speaking about it with people like you is going to be a massive game changer, and being around people who've actually been through it. Because when you go to the doctors and you're talking to someone over a table who's only learnt from a textbook, not from life experience, there's only so much they can relate to you and help you, and that's why they do throw pills at you, bro. I think that's what, in my experience, anyway.
Like you say, you've got to live it to relieve other people in a way, because, you know, only you know how it feels if you've been through it. Like, I couldn't tell you like about depression, bro, because I've never been depressed. I'm a happy person.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, you know what, I could help someone out, I could point them in the right direction or whatever. I know other people that help you, but for me, the anxiety thing, I know a lot about. Do you know what I mean? I've been dealing with it for years, and I pushed through the darkest times. Like I say, bro, one point I got fucking sectioned because, you know, the doctors wouldn't help me. You know, and then one morning I was on the way to work, and, you know, it was that bad. I've not slept in 5 days, and adrenaline rush is like I'm constantly having it going into the ring every hour of the day. So it was that pins and needles. Drove myself to Withenshaw Hospital, drove straight past work, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and they basically said to me, right, I want you to speak to our psychiatrist. So I was like, yeah, sound. He said, it might be a long wait. I said, got all the time in the world. At least I get seen, because I thought it would have pushed this ADHD thing faster, because, you know, I thought they'd look on the system and find my previous diagnosis, and then it'd go from there. Anyway, gets there, and this is another classic example in NHS. Nurse was really nice to me. She triaged me, said wait for the psychiatrist, got another opinion on it yet. And then next minute, the manager comes in, and she goes to me, I'm going to discharge you. And I was like, why? And she was like, because I just think you need to speak to a crisis team. So I said, well, I'm not in a crisis. I'm not suicidal. I'm not depressed. I've got bad anxiety attacks. I said, I just want to speak to someone about it, because, you know, I've had it for 5 days. I need something to break the cycle, or some diazepam or something just to break that cycle for a few hours. You know, it's draining. And she was so rude to me that literally I ended up going mental in the hospital, like going sick, like, you know, literally losing my mind, bro, like going mad, aggressive, do you know what I mean? Everything, like throwing things around, you know, that's like going mental, really. And then obviously I had to get sectioned from that. So, and then, you know, went into there, and the doors, it's a bit of a mad place, you know, people like you are, and I was saying, make it the fuck away from me. Do you know what I mean? I was fuming that I had to get to this point, but I was also embarrassed for myself, because I don't want to, I'm a 35-year-old man now, I've been this when I was 34, but, you know, I shouldn't be acting like that. That's not me as a person. I shouldn't be taking my, you know, moods out on people, frustration out on other people, especially when people are like, you know, being nice, they're like, yes, bro, like, oh, you know, I think a few people are like, you're big like that, yeah, and I was just like, fucking move away now. And it took them to literally sedate me, bro, for me to break that cycle. And then I woke up calm, and I had to stay in there for 5 days. And then it comes to the point where, you know, the psychiatrist came in, and he was laughing at me because I've been taking notes all week, but I'm getting people running up and down always, press-up competitions. You got to think all these people, they've got their own traumas, like they're seeing things, speaking to God, you know, speaking to walls, mate. And I'm doing like fucking sprints up and down the hallway. You know, I'm flirting with the nurses. You know, I'm just doing all sorts of bad. So they're writing notes about it. So this psychiatrist comes in and he was just laughing at me. He said, mate, you don't need to be here. I said, I know, bro. I said, I just lost my head in the hospital, mate. I said, I know that. And they literally discharged me then. And then, you know, from there, the doctors actually started taking me seriously. So it took me to reach that breaking point for me where I could have, you know, done mad things with violence on the hospital. Because I was just having it chat out with everyone, mate. That then they took me seriously, and it's sad that I had to get to that point to actually get seen and be noticed and to be heard properly, and then for him to start taking action on the matter.
Turning the psychiatric ward into a boot camp.
Oh, it was mad. Even the nurses were saying, yeah, you should get a job here, mate. Because, bro, I had them doing, like, press-up competitions, sprints up and down, yeah. I was doing all sorts, mate. I swear to God, I was... like, I was flirting with the nurses, yeah, and they was throwing it on the nurses as well. It was funny, you know.
Training them all up.
Yeah. It's probably changed
Quality,
there
man.
now.
Quality, that. So, rearing back round to social media, what we were saying before, and as I asked you, do you get any support message? Let me start again. So, going back to the social media thing, and I asked you before if you get messages of people, and you said, yeah. But I bet you don't get any messages or any support from the people that have known you the longest. It always comes from strangers, in my experience. Why do you think that is?
I do agree massively with this. I've seen a post about this today from someone else. I couldn't even tell you what it is, bro. I'll be honest with you, because we're all thinking the same thing. Because you are right, the support comes from the outsiders, people that don't know you. And it's also a thing where, you know, you let an outsider in. Not an outsider, let's say someone that doesn't know you. And then, you might, invite them to an event or whatever, and then they get to know you, and they do the same thing. They stop supporting the movement, and it's like, I don't get that mindset. Maybe, I don't think, because they look at your stories. So what, I like everything. It doesn't have to relate to me. I'm supporting you as a person. I'm not supporting what that content is. It don't matter. It could be a picture of your dog. You know what I mean? I'm still going to like it.
Don't even listen to it half the time. I just see that it's your name and I just like it just because it's you. Like, I just think that's normal.
Do you know what I mean? Like, my attention span is short, so if someone puts up a 3-minute video, I'm watching the first 10 seconds and just putting a low fucking clapping out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, man. Because I'm still supporting it. It might not even be a clapping. It could, hopefully, it's not bad things when I'm clapping it. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I'm supporting the movement where, like you say, a lot of people, mate, like, it's sad to see that they'll support a celebrity they don't even know, but they won't support their own people you've known years and stuff like that. And we see that, everyone sees it, and it's the same with every single individual. Everyone will say the same thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether it's to do with that person's insecurities, envious, or whatever it is, but that's their own problems. I just look at it as, all right, you don't support me, no problem. Like, it's not going to affect my day. It's not like, it's probably more affecting that person as a person, because why would they be looking at your things and not showing that love?
Yeah.
It must be something going on in their mind for them not to support or show no love. Yeah. It's more of a them problem than, our problem, really, because we're still going to get the same support anyway from randomers. So, it's a tricky one, really. None of us will ever, it's mysterious, isn't it? None of us will really truly know why, because we can't read people's minds, but there's got to be some sort of envy or jealousy behind it, or insecurity from that person. Maybe they don't like themselves, or they want to be putting the same content out as you, but they can't. It's got to be something behind it, but God knows what it is. Just let them keep showing the love from a distance.
Yeah, keep watching like we can't see you watching.
Well, listen, you're still supporting watching. You may as well follow me, ass, because you're still giving me views, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're still, the more views it gets, the more viral it goes. So they might not think they're showing love, but you're still getting me out there. You're still getting me more followers of more people, because not that it's about followers, but you're still getting me more love off other people. So you keep going, bro. You keep going, girl, because you're making me. You know what I mean?
No, it's right. It's right. But a lot of people, I think they see parts of us, like being outspoken, building a following and stuff like that, and they see what is possible, but because they're not brave enough to go for it themselves, they sit in the wings and they don't make any moves, and then they wonder why they stay in the same position, while we keep growing no matter what.
Yeah.
And, when they stay exactly in the same spot.
Bro, to be honest with you, people hate confidence. People don't like confidence. People just mistake confidence for arrogance these days. Like, you cannot be a confident person without being called arrogant, mate. Like, you know, there's like there's a lot of it. Like, look at there's a page called We're Dating the Same Guy. Let's go off that.
Yeah.
Well, I've been posting that a few times. Yeah, people might have been dating. Do you know what I mean? And they'll all put a picture. Looks like he loves himself. Looks arrogant. Looks this. The person don't even fucking know me, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're commenting, jumping on the bandwagon like everyone else, saying he thinks this, he thinks that, he thinks that, he thinks that, he thinks that. Well, you don't know me as a person, so you're going off image. So you see my confidence in a picture, yeah, and you're then saying these bad things. So clearly, you don't like confident people because you're insecure. So it says more again about that person than us. Do you know what I mean? Like, if a person hates someone with confidence and calls you arrogant, you're just insecure.
If they've never even heard you speak and they're just looking at a picture of you and then saying, "Oh, he's arrogant," well, you've never even heard the man speak. You know, you're just looking at his physique and clearly envious of it, ignoring all the hard work it took to get it, and then trying to throw shade. It's mental.
That's it, mate. Yeah, it's crazy world, man. It's just it's so messed up how people will judge someone before they know them. But it's like, for example, even in the dating world, the first, let's say I go on a dating app, yeah, I go on every now and then, right? The first message I get of a person is either you look like a fuckboy, you look like you've ruined my life, or what's the other one? Now I get the same message all the time, and I say back, yeah, if a person says to me you look like a football, I say, without time, I say you look like a slag, and they'll go to me, yeah, how rude. I said, well, you just called me the same thing, you don't even know me, but then when I say it's rude, do you know what I mean? So it just shows you that people judge you by how you look. But then when you say it back to them, it's not a nice thing to say. Well, take a leaf out of your own book, yeah, and stop judging people. Because I would never judge someone. If someone says a bad word about someone or anything, I'll make my own decision on that person.
Yeah.
And I've always been like, because, you know, it's like people always tell people bad things about people, never say the good things about that person.
Yeah.
I've got people saying bad things about me to other people. But what are the good I've done for you?
Yeah.
But people don't only ever speak the bad parts about that person, which is sad because it says more. Again, it says more about that person. If you can run your mouth about someone, about their things, it shows what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And if you're the type of person that's going to overlook 99 good things and magnify that one negative thing, then that just shows what's really going on inside you.
Yeah, mate. I'm telling you now. Do you know what I mean? It's a wild world, mate. Everyone's out. I think everyone's out to, I don't know, just bring each other down these days.
I think it's competition, like it's some deep-rooted competition and envy.
Social media, though.
Yeah.
It all boils down to social media, mate. Like, if social media went tomorrow, it would have 99% less problems, mate. Like, even with everything going on in the world at the moment, you won't be seeing what's going on. So there won't be all this negativity, this hate, the hatred towards people at the moment.
Yeah.
Because that's not there to view, which I don't watch the news, really. I see it on people's stories because I won't watch negative stuff. Why would you all watch something that's 100% positive news, 100% negative news?
Yeah.
You're just going to bring you down. It's like if you surround yourself with positive people. If you surround yourself with millionaires, you're probably going to end up a millionaire.
Yeah.
So if there's any millionaires out there, let me tell you. Right, so
Give us a shout.
yeah, but obviously if you're around criminals, well, you're probably going to be a criminal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's just the way it is. Like you are a habit of what you surround yourself with. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I think that's the right saying.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like they say, what is it now? Like, if you hang around with 4 broke people, you'll be the 5th. You know, like that. Yeah. So it's like being a product of your environment, basically.
Yeah, environment. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I say it all the time. You turn into what you tune into. So the more, and social media is one of them things. It's you get to actually create the things what you see. So if you can actually click those little 3 dots in the top right corner on a piece of negative content and say not interested, and then that trains your algorithm not to show you content that's related to that. And people still are reposting negative content and wonder why their life's messed up and wonder why they never really try or get anywhere every year that passes. It's mental, bro.
Yeah, it's like I do the same thing as you. I just say don't show me this post again because it just shows stuff that you're just not asked about, innit? Like, you know, there's a lot of viral videos out there. Like, this real stuff, bro, yeah, it doesn't go as far as someone, I don't know, eating fucking dog meat. Do you know what I mean? It's people that eat dog meat for views, but realistically, what they actually doing that for? Because you're not getting nothing out of it.
No.
You're getting views. People are addicted to likes and follows, bro, unfortunately. And these people, you know, it's like they're doing all this for views and some people are endangering their own life. You know
selling
what I mean?
the soul for views and likes, man. It's dangerous, bro.
That's what I'm saying, mate. And look at all the OnlyFans things that are around at the moment, like, you know, all the content of that. It's just like, when you scroll on a thing and it's just like, You're doing this in the middle of a shopping mall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's the world coming to, man? That's someone's daughter, that's someone's son or whatever. And it's like the things they're doing is just all for clickbait.
Willing to embarrass themselves to get likes and views and this validation from people who they don't even know and don't even like them. It's crazy, bro.
They're more bothered about, like a lot of people are more bothered about randomers' validation rather than their own people and the family's validation. They'd rather upset their own family to get validation off outsiders. They don't even care about them, because when all shit hits a fan, who's going to be there for you?
Yeah.
Your family, your close friends. And, you know, people just don't realise that these people will not be there. If you died tomorrow, and then they're going to come to your funeral, they're not going to shit about you. They're going to unfollow you and move on to the next influencer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all right.
Yeah, wild.
It's like, how long does that validation last, especially of strangers on Instagram? Like, when was the last time you remembered a viral video? There's only so many viral moments that you can remember in your mind, because you see that much content every single day. So these people that are begging likes and selling their soul for clout and stuff like that on social media, it really holds no weight, like you're saying, in the real world.
Yeah.
And it's a mad world.
People addicted to it, like I say, mate, I'll tell you one thing, so I'll tell you what shows that people crave validation so much. So there's people with partners out there, People with partners out there, and they be on a closed Instagram account. If you request to follow them, I mean, I've done it a few times, but I didn't know they had a partner or whatever, and so you get in the page, they'll accept you because they want that likes. They want the attention. Yeah, but you've got a partner, so you shouldn't even be accepting that person.
Yeah,
because I know if I was in a relationship, I was on a private account, I wouldn't be accepting that person.
Yeah.
That girl in my opinion.
If you're private, then stay private.
My own girls with attention, that's all I need. I'm content with that. Whereas, obviously, people that addicted to the likes and attention, they'll still have a fella, they'll still accept you, so you can keep popping up to that story, because they want to feel validated. And if that's the case, your man's not giving you enough. That's the way I see it.
It might be them, though. They might not ever be able to get enough because they're insecure. So they're always like, some people like to keep their options open.
But then you should stay single and work on yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
And you might attract somebody who you actually feel like their validation's enough.
There's a lot of people out there that have broken me from previous relationships, getting cheated on, domestic abuse, whatever. And it's like, that people out there need to literally work on themselves until they're ready to move on, rather than passing that trauma on to the next person. Because that's another problem that's up with dating these days, that people are not ready for that. So they're bringing their trauma into this new relationship, into this new dating scene. So you could be dating someone that's insecure because their partner's obviously, done something bad to them or whatever. You start dating and constantly this pressure of reassurance. You shouldn't have to keep doing that.
Yeah.
If that person worked on himself before getting with someone, the relationship will then flow a lot smoother. Because a lot of relationships these days, mate, it doesn't get past the talking stage. You've been sleeping together. I don't get past that stage these days because there's too much trauma involved, or the ex is still involved still. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that people, bro, girls are not asked. They must love the drama because they don't give a shit. They broke up. I mean, I've had people say I broke up with my boyfriend 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Is this lunatic? He's doing this, and then they want to come and date me. Make it make sense, man. I'm not bothered. I don't want a kid no loyalties, but still, why would you want to bring that drama to my life? Because that's what it's gonna do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, the ex is not over them, so you're not asked about anything then. Because if you're willing to bring that trauma to someone, you're so fucking broken to be wanting to bring that to someone's life and cause them trouble in their life. Do you know what I mean? But unfortunately, that's the way the dating scene is these days. You can't trust someone's word for it.
No. It has to be like, you never really hear anybody say, I was in a toxic relationship, it ended badly, then I went on a personal development journey, I got a coach, I trained, I did this, I got sober, I went therapy, do you know what I mean? I got counselling for my own trauma and worked it out. And, you never hear that. It was their fault. And I'm just the victim in the story. And they come to you like a little damsel in distress or whatever. And then it's like your job to pick up all the pieces off the floor. And I think it's really unfair.
But there's always two sides to a story as well.
Exactly,
I understand that obviously someone can be abusive off their own back, and I understand. And then you've got the other side of it, but you don't hear. So you can only ever hear one story, which there's a lot of people which I do feel sorry for that are going through hard times with their partners, and they've been through a lot of trauma, which is sad. But there's also a flip side where the other person could be causing all this and lying about that person, what they're doing, and it could just be them. And next minute, the other person then made him out this bad person when they probably might have done nothing wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying
yeah,
everyone's the same, but
Yeah.
you know, after mate,
Yeah.
90% of it, is usually lies.
Zero
Do you know what I mean?
accountability from their
zero
side of
accountability,
things. Yeah.
When they could be the toxic one.
Yeah.
They could be the one doing that, and then you know the guy's stood up for himself, or the girl stood up for himself, and next minute they're the ones to blame. They're the world's worst person. Do you know what I mean?
So do you think it's important to not, when you meet somebody new, to not get invested straight away, to let their character unfold and to actually like get to know the person first?
Do you know what? I don't think you can say that because I think it depends on you as a person. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it depends what your personality is like, because, you know, like, I know with people with ADHD, they get invested too easy. So, like, you could literally meet someone and then literally hyper-focus on that person.
Yeah.
So, and then you've got obviously people that are very relaxed out there that, you know, will take months and months. So I just feel it depends on each individual and how that movement's going as well.
Yeah.
If there's chemistry there, then let it flow. There's no need to put pressure on it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas some people put pressure on it, some people don't. Either way is good. Do you know what I mean? But you have to make sure that chemistry matches, or if one person's super into it and the other one's not, you need to obviously just exit the situation because it's never going to end well, is it?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Facts.
Yes, there's no point.
Yeah. So touching back on what you was talking about before, about setting up your walks again and, you know, really getting into the content and, you know, attending podcasts and being a guest speaker and stuff like that. Where do you see it moving now? Like, what's the next steps like? You know, what's the plans for Ashley?
Next steps is obviously getting like more podcasts and obviously be open about it because obviously I want to help people. So I want people to give people the opportunity to come forward and speak to me. You know, my inbox is always open for help and stuff. And, you know, it costs nothing to just pop up. I'll always respond to people who need help, who generally need help. Not be like one of them little creepy ones, do you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, like for me, it's this movement now, the way my social is going to be more about helping people. Getting back into obviously like sports I used to do as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I've always been an active person and, you know, like I enjoy fitness. I feel like fitness is the key to unlocking up here. You know, especially like supporting yourself. I feel that everyone with mental health, everyone needs a sport to go into, whether that's, you know, it could be hiking, could be boxing, could be Thai boxing, could be, you know, hockey, it could be anything. Keep your mind stimulated with a sport and, you know, it'll get a lot easier up there because that hour you're playing that, you won't even be thinking about anything up here. You know, when your adrenaline's running off, fueled, or you're doing something you enjoy. And then that dopamine that releases, you know, them endorphins, and then afterwards they'll feel brand new. So as long as people are consistent with that, they'll feel so much better about themselves. Where I don't feel people realise how fitness supports that mindset, and to having that strong, resilient mindset, really. So going forward anyway, obviously that I'm going to start my walks again. Hopefully start a class up. Obviously I've been all over with different work. Obviously I went from PT into ground working, so you know I'm just trying to figure out what days I've got free, and I'm going to put on another class again for people, like a fitness class for free.
Yeah.
And my walks are always free now. It's coming to summer, you know, I'm going to open them back up with cold water dips. So they'll be opening back up again soon. And then just basically just trying to, you know, open my doors to people to come and speak and be open about what's on their mind, and realising that, you know, you don't have to stay silent. You know, like don't rely on the NHS and wait for the NHS when there's many people like me and yourself that can help people out here. So just for that person to know they have someone to talk to or someone to come to or that support, and that they're not alone in what they're going through, really.
Yeah. I fully respect what you're doing and like your movement and your vision, and we've talked about it a lot off camera and stuff, and I really, really think like the walks, the classes and stuff like that are going to benefit people. But I just want to tie back into like the day-to-day life as a man or as an adult or even as a person with ADHD. Like, what are the things that you would say to somebody who's watching this now that they can use to, not, I wouldn't say combat, but to cope and to live a better existence with ADHD or some mental health problems?
Well, ADHD is a tricky one because there's different obviously severities of it. Now I'm proper anti-med, to be fair, mate. But my thing would be, if you are suffering with, you do think you've got ADHD, obviously go and get a diagnosis because it's neurological. You know, there's no therapy. Therapy does help to an extent, but you know, therapy can't give you that dopamine that your brain needs to support ADHD. So I personally think, you know, on a severe level, like I've got severe ADHD, I feel like you need medicating. I've gone through the walls of it. I've gone through 4 different medications. Like, at first, obviously, I started with the stimulants. You know, that because I've got a fast metabolism, my body metabolises that drug so fast. They're supposed to last like 12 hours. You know what? But I was peaking within, you know, and it was lasting 3 hours, and then I was crashing majorly. So for me, I was up, focused and stuff like that. But then I crashed, and it made me feel like, you know, sad, like zombie, like not wanting to socialise. And then, you know, I had to go through all them, bro, for like 6 months, yeah. But obviously, I finally got my appointment. I wasn't giving up. I thought, I'm getting to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
So I just stuck through it. Yeah, I had a bad 6 months. But like I said, my psychiatrist is very supportive of me. And you know, I thank her so much for that, because I could just email anytime I want. And she got me through it, you know. And now I'm obviously on non-stimulant medication, which is, you know, up to now it's working wonders. And I believe that this is the one for me to, you know, calm the mind and, you know, give me that dopamine increase and that my brain needs to not crave that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
I'm doing impulsive stuff and, you know, to think clearer before I do actions. So my advice to people would be, really, if you are struggling, I will go through something called Right to Choose pathway to get diagnosed sooner, which is not NHS funded, but, you know, it's a faster pathway to get diagnosed.
Right.
Because, you know, anxiety is linked to ADHD, and if you're really, really struggling, you probably do need medicating. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. Like every morning when you go and see that tablet, you don't want to do it. But at the end of the day, if that makes your life easier, I know people, especially social media now, it's all about, you know, you just need meditation, you just need this. No, man, some people need medicating. It's simple as that. And I hate when I see them things, because, man, I've done everything. I've pushed my body and brain to the limits. You know, I've done cold water dips, as we did one the other day. Do you know what I mean? I've been therapy multiple times. I've been sectioned. Did that help me? No.
Right.
The only thing that's helped me, bro, is medication. Do you know what I mean? And the mix of other things as well. You know, it doesn't just take one, like your pills and that's it. You've obviously got to, you know, do other things with it, like your training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Keeping your mind busy, productive. You know, doing things that you're interested in. And there's also a lot of things I still need to work on, but I would say they go for the Right to Choose pathway and try their best to get, if you are really struggling, get a professional diagnosis, not one of these self-diagnosed bloody things.
Yeah.
Because that's not that. If you really struggled, right? If you really struggled with something, why wouldn't you want to go and get diagnosed with it? Why wouldn't you want to go get help for it? So you've obviously not got it. If you've truly got ADHD, you would need to go and get help for it.
Right.
I'm not having that people don't need help for ADHD, mate, because I know a lot of people with it that really suffer.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that have got ADHD, so and so, but you're just happy every day. That's not ADHD.
No.
You know what I mean? That's just you being a happy person. You think because you've got a bit of energy every day, because you're 3 cappuccinos deep, you've got ADHD. No, man. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not one of them.
Yeah, they just try. I think people want to have it. I think certain people are that insecure and they've not really got much going on with their life, so they want to say, "I've got ADHD" to make themselves seem like they're special and they can fit in the bracket with people.
Do you know how many people, right? So let's say I'm having a conversation with someone or whatever. My mate said I got ADHD because I'm always like, that's not ADHD, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can have a hyperactive disorder, right? Don't get me wrong, but that's, mate, you're mentally drained. You're absolutely drained inside. Your body just still moving like a motor. But when people describe it, I feel like a lot of people, I put a post up ages ago about people self-diagnosing, and loads of people unfollow me, but I'm not bothered because I'll call it out how it is. Yeah. You're stopping these people that actually need help.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? By obviously trying to get yourself in this just to try and get diagnosed with ADHD. I understand some people have got it, but 97% of them people out there probably haven't got it, mate. Yeah. They just want to be popular, or I've got this, I've got that, because it sounds cool.
Yeah. Because it's trending again, isn't
they're
it?
giving themselves a disability, because it is a disability, to act cool, like you are right in the head.
Yeah.
That's you need help for that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You need help for that, mate. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's just giving themselves an excuse as well. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they say, "Oh, I can't do that. My ADHD is kicking in," or do you know, it's a cop out for a lot of people. And you know what? It takes a lot away from the seriousness of the matter with people like yourself who are battling with it every single day. And I think you know, it's annoying. It's frustrating. So it must be frustrating to somebody like you actually who's been through the wars with it and actually found, you know what I mean, found his way through it. So
yeah, that's well, no. Hopefully, you know, like obviously we've still got things to work on, and hopefully that'll never stop. But you know, I finally think I'm on the right pathway to getting it sorted. And you know, I'm 35-year-old, nearly 36, bro. It took me years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I got medicated at 12. Now I'm 35.
Wow.
So for me, think of how many years it's took, and you know, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to work on yourself as well. So yeah, you just got to just push through, man. Like, what else do you do? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing you can do is push through. Treat each day differently, really.
You got to find the things that work for you, because some things like, you know, put the medication aside, some things like activities and stuff might not stimulate somebody else the way they stimulate you. And I think like, just don't be afraid to try new things, and don't be afraid to, like, you know, pick something up and then put it down because you feel like it's not for you. You know, it's not a one shoe fits all, one size fits all thing, ADHD, and that is it.
That's why I say to people, like, it's people with anxiety, depression, any disorder you're going through, find something that you enjoy doing and keep doing it, because there's a lot of people, especially like online coaches, say you've got to go to gym. That person might fucking hate lifting them weights. I do. It's boring. I'd rather do a circuit, but you know, and they're pushing them into doing them weight sessions, right? Don't get me wrong, some people love it, but you know, that person, I believe you get more endorphins off getting the heart rate up.
Yeah.
That's my belief, and I feel like it's more beneficial because you know that's true fitness, bro.
Yeah.
These people lifting weights, heavy weights, yeah. And eating what 6-5, that's not fitness. So everyone's got his fitness in the name. Fitness, fit. You're not fit.
Yeah.
How can you say fitness if you're not fit?
Yeah.
Fit is literally being fit, so you can run, you can walk up the stairs without functional. Walk up the stairs without getting out of breath. You can move your body. You know what I mean? Not get up the stairs and you're panting for your life. You know what I mean? You're for 2 minutes in with your missus, bro, and you're half dead. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Fuck that, man. You know what I mean? These people, like, I just believe that. You know, people just follow trends too much, man.
Yeah.
And no one's unique to themselves no more.
Yeah. It's sad. But you have got to find what works for you. Yeah. And like, what, just because you see it working for somebody else, don't be afraid to try it, but then put it down if it doesn't work for you. Don't stick to a process that you don't enjoy, like what you just said.
Yeah. The more I've been through it myself. I wanted to be this big guy. Do you know what I mean? Bro, I was juiced out of my neck, taking insulin, nearly killing myself because I didn't have the carbs in time, in the garage falling all over. Do you know what I mean? Just to be this big one guy, bro, I'm genetically lean, genetically skinny. So for me, I was trying to be this big guy because I've never been it, trying to be like all these other people. And really now, bro, I'm just being athletic. I'm being me. I'm going with my genetics and what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think it took me years to work on that, to realise that what truly I wanted from this. And to not be like these other people, what these other people was expecting me to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it was just a constant fight of chasing that size. Whereas now, like, do you know what I mean? I'm nowhere near as big as I was. I'm lean, I can move, I don't get out of breath, and I love it. Do you know what I mean? I actually enjoy what I do. I get up every morning, and I enjoy going and doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I want a day off, I'll have a day off. If I want to eat a meal, I'll eat that meal. If I don't want to eat that meal, I won't eat that meal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are forced into what other people are doing mentally, do you know what I mean? And that's where they're never truly happy with themselves, because you're never going to be that person. Yeah, you might watch someone on Instagram, he's in sick shape, or she's in sick shape. I want to be like her. Well, you're not her. You're never going to be her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what people need to realise. You're never going to be, you can aspire to be like them, but you're never going to have the same shape.
Yeah.
Genetics are different and stuff like that. So just be yourself, man.
Yeah,
That's the moral of the story. Just be yourself and create your own version of yourself.
Yeah, there's some big people out there who are looking at the guy who's got the 28-inch waist and the big massive triangle back, mate. But if your body type's never going to be able to physically achieve that, because your body's an endomorph or something and they're a hectomorph, like, and you're aspiring to that and comparing yourself to that, like, might not be for you, like, you know what I mean? You're measuring yourself against something that's not even a possibility, and wondering why your head's gone.
That's it, and then obviously chasing it when they're taking all sorts of peds. But then your body's always going to fight that back down. Do you know what I mean? That's what people don't understand. Like, you might get that big and then your body's going to spiral down. Like, are you really going to stay on 6,000 calories? Let's say you're a fast metabolizer, yeah? Are you really going to stay on 5,500, 6,000 calories a day for the rest of your life to sustain that? No. And then obviously that's when, again, mental health can come in.
Yeah.
Because every day they're trying to be this, or they've dropped a scale weight, or, you know, they're forcing him. Mate, that's not healthy, man.
Chasing the impossible, aren't you, bro?
Chasing the impossible, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's just... It's just like the Wild West out there.
You got to find what suits you, ain't you, bro, basically. Long story short, you got to find...
do what you love as well.
Yeah.
Do what you enjoy, not what other people enjoy. Even if in a friend group and all them are going doing weights, don't feel like you have to go with them. Just go and do your own thing.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do what other people are doing just to fit in. We're not sheep, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To create your own movement and just do what you love and enjoy doing. Because up there you feel a lot better for yourself, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're doing something you don't enjoy day to day, it's like a job.
Yeah.
Look how depressing people that go to work and they've been in the same workplace 15 years hating it.
Yeah.
They're the most moodiest, grumpiest person that people ever. And that's all because they're afraid to take action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they took action and got, was brave enough to start a new job, yeah, they might start at the bottom or whatever. But yeah, you might be on a pay less, you might be on less pay, but you'll still be happy. And I'm sure a lot of people agree with me. That's what life's about, being happy.
Being happy and being true to yourself.
Yeah, true to yourself, man. And that'll make you a lot more positive person by being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I think that's what a lot of people will be looking on your social media and stuff, and that's where a lot of hate from people who know you come from. Because number one, they've probably like got comfortable with an old, outdated version of you, let's say 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And this new version of you makes them feel uncomfortable. And I just feel like people shouldn't be afraid to start again. People a lot of people are scared to start over, bro. Like, I'm really not like, if something else came tomorrow, another opportunity, I'd be willing to start to drop everything and start over and and give it at least give it a try.
Better yourself as well. Do you know what I mean? Then why wouldn't you take that? Or if it's a possibility to better yourself, why wouldn't you take that shot? Because you got to take them chances, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? And like you say, like, these people from the past don't like the new person you are. Well, that's on them, because we're moving forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no point in going back. You're here to move forward, mate. So the person let's say the person I was 5 years ago is not the person I am now.
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, mentally, do you know what I mean? I'm a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And for me, going to prison and stuff like that has made me a better person. I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed to go to prison and learn the harsh truths about me as a person in order for me to become a better person. So for me, I'm actually thankful. I don't regret it.
No.
I'm actually thankful that I actually went to prison and did my time there, because I got out and now, bro, yeah, like, I'm up there. In my mind, I'm up there. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy. My mentality is like good, strong-minded. It took what I had to go through in my life from growing up young, not just from the prison sentence, with a father I had, horrible father, the rough upbringing, not for the sake of the way my mum brought me. My mum was a diamond, but what I put my mum through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the way I was. It took me to go through all that and then prison to actually realise now, in my 30s, what I actually needed to change in myself and to become that better person, to be the best version of myself.
It's making the best out of the things that we go through. A lot of people, like, when they go through a certain thing, they think that they're doomed, they think that's it, they think their life's over, and, they dwell on it. Like you're saying, you don't regret it. It's okay to feel regret for 2 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, but don't stay in a constant state of regret, because then you dwell in, and then you become miserable, and then you're depressed, and then you look constantly looking back instead of looking forward and being grateful for the things that you do have.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. One door opens and one closes. One door closes and one opens, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the same. But I believe that's true. I do believe that's true, because, mate, we've all been through hard times, innit? We have all been through. No one can say they've not been through a hard time, unless you're Prince Andrew. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, and look, you always get happy again. Like, a relationship ends, for example, they're upset, they're heartbroken, it's always, oh, no, I'm never going to be back normal.
Yeah.
Next minute, 2 years down the line, met someone else happy again.
Yeah.
It just shows you nothing lasts forever, man. These hard times, these dark times when there's a storm, there's always sunlight at the end of it.
Yeah, 100%,
You can put that into any perspective in life.
Yeah, 100%. It's like ties back into the mental health things, like when you're going through your panic attacks or you're going through your stress, depression, your anxieties, things like that. It's knowing up here that you are going to be okay no matter what. Like, you are going to get through this storm and you are going to come out on the other side, like you said.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's hard to tell yourself. And when you're in that panic
in the
state,
moment, it's hard. It's easy for us to sit on a podcast and say, yo, you're going to be all right. But when you actually don't feel like you're not 100% confident you are going to be all right, it's like...
But like, we're sat here laughing about it now because we've been through it.
Yeah.
Most of it's over for us. Like, I can't remember last time I had all that go on, mate, because obviously I took action on it. And I know I created that... unbreakable mindset in a way.
Yeah.
So now, even if it came along again, I know how to fight it off. Do you know what I mean? Because you never know, it could come along again. Do you know what I mean? At any point in our life, you don't know what times you're going to go through. Like, anything could happen. Like the death of my granddad not long ago. Bro, my head fell off. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even realise I was capable of crying. I not cried since I was 12. My granddad died, bro. I couldn't even have the radio on. I was trying to work with the windscreen wipers on. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, I mean, it's one of them, really, but that didn't break me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it nearly, don't get me wrong, it nearly did because I love my granddad to bits. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a rock of our family. But it takes something like that to see how strong you are.
Yeah, but you've got stuff now because you've been a dare in the past to try new things. You know what works for you in times of despair, and that's why I always encourage people to try new things. Because once you might try 10 things, but only 2 work. Once you've got those 2 staples in your life that can pull you out of any shit situation, then you know you'll always have them to fall back on. They don't ever leave you. So if you're scared of trying new things, you might be one try away from finding an absolute game changer in your life, bro.
You've got to take that leap, haven't you? Because like I say, if you don't try something, you're never going to know.
Yeah.
I'd rather walk into the unknown and find out the hard way than never know.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, you might go through life. It's like people don't take chances in life, and you see a lot of videos online about people regretting not taking that chance or that jump. And would you really want to be one of them people when it comes to the end of your life and not try? Because you only get one try at this shit.
Yeah,
I mean, and then, you know, then it could be too late. So, you know, you just got to take that leap, mate.
That scares me more than anything, being an old man and looking back and knowing that I was too scared to take any risk. That scares me more than any failure, more than any loss. Do you know what I mean? And waking up one day thinking your best days are behind me, and that window of opportunity is gone, and I was too scared to act upon it. Like, that feeling, that scares me more than anything.
Yeah, I think sometimes we all forget that. Like, honest to God, like this, I was saying this the other day. It takes someone's death to make you realise that. It takes people around you to die to actually realise that and realise what life's about. And then, you know, 6 months down the line, you forget that again till the next person passes away.
Yeah.
And it's like, why does it take that for us to actually realise that? But that's the sad reality of it. We all do it.
Yeah.
And like, there's not one of us that doesn't think that every day. Like, it takes something to happen for them to realise it, or a story of someone you know or something, for you to, you know, click up there. And then again, like I said, 6 months down the line, you forget about that until the next thing happens.
Because we get comfortable and we get complacent, and it's not until there's waves made in our life or something bad happens and we actually, it takes us back, and then we really reflect and think, right, now I need to make a move. Do you know what I mean? It's certain things have to happen for us to spark change, and it's mad. I think we naturally just get comfortable with life, bro.
Yeah, I think that's every human being, though, mate, to be fair. I don't think it's just set people. I know that obviously there's people out there that say all this, but it's all right seeing it in a 10-second reel, innit?
Yeah.
We're all the same. We all do the same things. Like, it's like, there's a lot of people online that faking it till they make it. Look at that Aston Hall, for example, mate. Smashed it. Don't get me wrong, the guy smashed it, but some of these reels, man, like, so unrealistic. And who's that guy got called that ages ago for that? I think it was the same kid. Oh no, the one that said he got up at like 3:30 every morning, and he got found out because he zoomed in on his watch. You remember him?
Nah, but do you know what? I've seen certain things like that, but that's what I'm saying. It's like social media. It gives people an opportunity to lie to the public.
And then people will believe it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, people, like, mate, we could post anything. We could just, I don't know, we could post that we just bought this room now today, and everyone's going to believe it. It's not even our room, bro. You know what I mean? But it's true, they'll believe it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying, like, I remember this guy, I can't remember who it was. He was posting, he gets up at 3:30 every morning, and people started doing that, mate. Started posting their own reels, but there was a trend going around it.
Yeah.
And they got found out that obviously, like, someone zoomed in on his watch or something like went on one of the video. And he wasn't even up at that time, mate. The guy was lying to everyone because it was going viral. And everyone started doing it like, bro, what the fuck, what's going to put 3:30 in the morning to go and fucking get a day done? When you go sleep at 5 p.m. You need them 8 hours sleep. Like, when people neglect their sleep, especially people with ADHD, you cannot neglect sleep because your ADHD symptoms get worse. But again, it's hard to sleep because obviously the melatonin in your body doesn't start producing till later. That's I don't know the ins and outs of it. I know quite a bit, but I don't know how to speak about it. So we have to know that I get prescribed melatonin for nighttime. So I say it's not a sleeping tablet; it's non-addictive and all that. You literally, bro, it's a prolonged release. So I chew one to make it instant release. Then I take another one, which is prolonged to keep me asleep. And if I didn't take them, mate, I'd be up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So I have to take them while I'm not getting 8 hours sleep. And then, I'll do a manual labour job. And then you're knackered, and then you go to gym at night time, and then you're back in. It's not possible, mate. Your body eventually just goes on decline. Your mental clarity decline. Everything's going to decline, and your symptoms get worse.
So you need sleep to combat the symptoms. But one of the symptoms is it's hard to sleep.
Yeah,
that is mad.
Especially with people on stimulants as well. So if you're on the stimulant meds, you're stimulated. So let's say it lasts from people 13 hours a day. That could go into their bedtime. So they're supposed to wind down when they're on a stimulant. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's don't get me wrong, like we drink caffeine and we feel tired. But when you're on so much stimulant and you're drinking coffee on top of that, it's a bit, you are tired, but your body won't shut down.
Won't switch off, yeah.
So it's a bit of a wild one, mate. ADHD is such a complicated thing, and I don't actually think it gets studied enough. But, because it's not, they don't class it as a major disability, do they? Just, it's just, half the time it's just a naughty child.
That's the old school ADHD, not this new version what everyone's claiming to have. It's like I grew up with the old version of ADHD where it was like outbursts, it was loud, it was like impulsive, you know what I mean? It was you look back and it was like, I miss the old version of ADHD when you used to see it in people because it's a lot of life and a lot of energy in this dull world, and then now everyone's claiming to have it because they can't focus on a reel for more than 2 seconds. It's mad,
it's
bro.
Wild, mate. Yeah, you're right. The old ADHD is different. It's just been a naughty little
classic.
Hey, come on, your mum's got a leather belt out. Come here, boy. You didn't go to school today, did you? I've not been in school the past 2 weeks, mate. It has changed all the times, mate. It has changed. It's changed for the worse, unfortunately.
It has, but like you were saying before, it's how you use things and it's how you adapt. It's like social media, like we can talk about the negatives, but there's a lot of positives, and like you use your account the same way I use mine. You use it to better the lives of other people, to inspire other people, And I've been guilty of having accounts in the past where I've used it to sleep around. I've used it to, at the goal and pretend that I'm living this, you know what I mean? Just constantly trying to keep up with the Joneses and keep up with the trends and stuff like that. And they're the most miserable people. I think if you feel like you're consumed by social media, if you start to change the way you use your account, it'll have a massive effect on your mindset. Start to just think about other people, put things out that you need to hear when you're struggling and stuff like that. You don't have to be the next me or you or whatever. Just do it in your own way, do it in your own lane, and put positive stuff out there, and you'd be surprised at what comes back to you.
It's true, mate. And I think the fact of, like you say, helping people, it don't have to be direct, like we're doing it now, like a podcast. It could literally just, I don't know, promote someone's business. Could be simple things like that, where someone's struggling in the business, go and post it on the business. People won't do it though because they don't get nothing back from it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where they'll post Kanye West, bloody whatever the bloody hell he's up to, wish Beyonce happy birthday, but they won't share their own mate's business hair extension page. And it's like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, it doesn't make no sense. Wouldn't you want your friend to do better, or do you want Jay-Z to do better? I make it make sense. Oh, they smashed it.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? Your mate's not. She's struggling. She's put all the last dough into the business.
Yeah.
But then it make it make sense for me. Well, my mates don't even have to ask me to share shit.
Yeah.
If you've created a page, I'll share that. Do you know what I mean? I'll share that. But if you don't support me, I ain't supporting you.
Yeah.
Because why would I do that? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being petty with it, but you're using me for my benefits, innit? You see what you can get out of me, so why am I going to go and back you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because deep down, you may as well unfollow me. If you don't support me, there's a problem. So to show me there's a problem, just unfollow it.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than watch my stuff and just not do anything, because that hits home a bit harder, innit? Do you know, when you see it, it hits you, man. You might say it don't, but deep down, you feel it, man. You feel like, wow.
I bet there's a lot of people out there, mate, that are like hostages in people's followings who don't want to unfollow to offend them, but don't really like them. It's like, you just don't follow people. Well, you won't be missed.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, listen, I've got people there that I fell out with in the past, or I don't speak to no more, but they've been through the wars with me, so I still love them unconditionally. Fact, so I'll always have them on there. Do you know what I mean? Even though we're not talking no more, we might not be friends no more, but I'll still keep you on there because I want to see you progressing with your life. I still have massive love for them and want them to do well.
Yeah.
Because we've been through things together, do you know what I mean? So, in my eyes, like, them people that I'm not talking about on this like that, because there's still love there for them.
Yeah.
But we might not be on good terms, or we might not be you know, chilling with each other anymore, but I still got mad love for them for what
Yeah.
they've been through with me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's all right. But these people, you know, that follow you and just don't even interact. What's the point in following me? Because you like the content that you see, but you
Yeah.
won't follow. So why are you just being like a little ghost,
Like a little witness.
like a little reaper? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you know what? Some people just aren't even a dare to admit that you inspire them, and they like looking at your stuff because it's an ego thing. They think if they're like might be losing a bit of street cred if you give another man props, and I think that's a bad mindset to have.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I was with my mates yesterday, and do you know, like, this isn't a really ADHD. You struggle to take compliments when you've got ADHD. You know, I don't know. It's everybody, but I do. Like, I had my new glasses on the other day. And my mate's boyfriend, Dan said to me, "Yo, the suit of them glasses, bro, we're under." Like, bro, I can't take compliments off either end. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just a mate saying, "Yo, you suit them glasses, bro, my head falls off in it." And then obviously if a girl compliments me, I mean, do you know what I mean? It was a bit weird. Like, do you know what I mean? Even though I appreciate it, again, you just struggle to regulate them emotions. You don't have to take it. Do you know what I mean? So that's another mad trait of ADHD. You don't have to take things. So that's how you can sabotage things so easily. Because that one person will understand they could do something really nice for you. Like, let's say someone bought me a present. Bro, I say, what have you done that for?
Yeah.
I think I buy my own presents. Like, and that's so ungrateful. It sounds ungrateful, but I'm not being ungrateful. That's just my personality. You know, and I don't know how to take that because I can't regulate that emotional side of things. So yeah, that's a thing I need to work on.
When you've been through a lot though, especially as a young man, even without ADHD, it's hard to receive love and accept it because you was that little boy once that like didn't have the father there who didn't, you know what I mean, didn't feel worthy of it because you didn't have it like certain people you knew had it. So you automatically just like distance yourself from the feeling altogether.
Yeah, it's mad. We're not used to getting things, man. We're not used to receiving things. So when we do receive it, because obviously it's all built from your childhood. A lot of people's trauma is from the childhood.
Yeah.
They don't realise it, but, you know, so I read deeply into these things. And most of it is from your childhood and it stems into adulthood, which is wild, really. Like, but, you know, like some people's dad might not have been there. Like, my dad wasn't there for me. Well, he was there, but he wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a shit father, mate. You couldn't call him a father.
Yeah.
The way he was with me and my family is unbelievable. He was just a violent, horrible man. It was obviously Thai boxing for the majority of years of my childhood. And who actually showed me more love was my Thai boxing instructor called Rick Lewis. Like, he literally showed me that what fatherhood is actually like in a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, like now we're not in touch. But I still have mad love again for him because he showed me about, you know, discipline and about respect. And I feel like that's why some people should go into combat sports because it shows you a lot about discipline and about respect. Like, you can walk into a gym, I know obviously it's intimidating for people, but you learn a lot about discipline. And they're actually the nicest people because that's the way they've been trained up to be. From maybe some people at a young age, about to respect people and to discipline. They know what they're capable of, and they don't have to show that. So they'll go in there and make you feel like the most wanted people, like around me. And it's crazy because you'd think you walk. Some people think I walk into that gym. Oh my God, they're gonna start taking me head off. But they're the most humbling people ever, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's people like I would recommend people to get into combat sports. To be fair, whether that be MMA, boxing, Thai boxing, bare knuckle, whatever you want to get yourself into, have some form. People I would send the kids, not for the sake of being able to punch people up or whatever.
No.
Just for that self-discipline, mate.
That respect that you can't buy, you can't, you won't learn it outside on the streets. I say it all the time, bro.
To keep them off the streets as well, because this knife crime and the gang violence, mate, is rising.
It's ridiculous.
So, I mean, now it's like, again, it's trendy to be a drug dealer. Whereas people back in the day was doing it to make bread, mate. He was making the bread and he was getting out of the game. Now it's trendy, like, they'll be taking pictures of the graph phone and that. It's like, you're just asking to be caught. And it's all for women again, because women, unfortunately...
Like the bad boy.
Yeah, they do like the bad boy. But don't mean you can't be bad and not... You know, you can be bad and not, you know, not show people that you're bad all over the gram and that. But, again, it's a materialistic lifestyle on both ends. You know, there's people out there, not everyone's the same, but, you know, unfortunately, that's the way it is for a lot of people.
I wish I would have got into like combat sports when I was younger. I had a completely like a similar childhood from what it sounds like to yours, where like my father figure wasn't ideal and stuff like that, and that's a big thing missing. So there's a lot of single mums that follow me, and like, you know, I speak to and I know, and I say to them, I can't stress it enough. If you've got a young lad, push him into boxing, get him into a gym like that, and it will instantly teach him the respect. So not only respect others, but to respect himself as well, and then that'll transcend into his adult life. And you know, you'll save yourself a lot of misery if you teach your son. No, I'm not saying there's not bad apples, and you'll get one that'll go out and start
of course,
twatting all the other kids in school or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, it's very important that they learn a discipline and a respect from a young age, and what better way and what better place than a combat sports gym.
Yeah, and I feel like as well, if people know they can handle themselves, they don't need to show it as well, bro. If you know what you're capable of in a way, and using it in the right energy and environment, let's say a boxing gym, you know, you're doing it there. So when you're out, you know, and these young lads, for example, are out on the streets, or they know what they're capable of, and they're taking all the frustration out in that gym.
Yeah.
They're not taking it out in the streets, whereas a lot of people have had, you know, rubbish upbringings, and then, you know, they've got all this anger inside, and they're unleashing it in the streets.
Yeah.
So instead of being out there, you may as well go and unleash it on the bag, the pads, sparring, whatever in the gym. And if that's a better way, because once it's like your system, as you know, you go into that gym for an hour, you know, you hit the pads, you have a spar, whatever, you leave feeling brand new.
Yeah.
So you didn't get levered all over. But, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, though, don't you?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Like, you feel good.
It's good, man.
So, yeah, that's what people need to push the younger generation into.
100%. I reckon the knife crime and all that would all go down. Like, the numbers would significantly reduce if people was channeling, because there's a lot of frustrated young men out there as well who come from the same backgrounds as us, but they've not gone through enough yet. So they're going to end up going through the wars, you know, until they learn. And you're like, there's only certain, like what you were saying before, it's like the harsh things that happen to us is what actually makes us. And you know, I think a lot of young men are in the danger of going down that path and stuff, and I can relate to it, half of it, most of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because of the frustration, but if they just took that same frustration and like put it into a boxing gym or a sport, or trying to build a following, or looking at a brighter, bigger picture, I think they can save themselves a lot of ag, man.
Yeah. Do you know what's the maddest thing? So obviously, like about 2 years ago, so I think I've been out 3 years now. So I tried helping young kids out. So I tried getting a job helping young kids out that have been homed.
Wow.
That are involved in, obviously, you know, like troubled childhoods and, you know, involved in gangs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I must have gone for 8, 9 interviews, and not one of them giving a job because of my DBS. But what I was trying to say to them is, listen, I've been through it all. I've been involved in shit. Do you know what I mean? I've done things that I'm not proud of. Like, I've learned that life lesson. And they give the job to some student that's never experienced life experience than me, because they kept turning me down with it. Bro, as soon as I said about the TBS and I told them what I've been in jail for, boom, you seen the faces change. But wouldn't you want someone around the kids like that that's turned their life around, that's seen it all? Because I can tell them about where it's going to go. I can tell you exactly where it's going to go. Because it goes the same way for everybody. Like, a lot of people, you know, you think you're getting away with it, mate. Everyone gets grabbed.
Yeah.
Or something happens in the end. So, and I thought it was quite unbelievable that someone didn't give me that opportunity. Yeah, I've created bad things in the past, but surely you'd want a role model like that around these young'uns to, you know, show them the right pathway. But they just look, so it just shows you what these people are thinking. They're looking at me like a scumbag.
Yeah.
So how can you look at these kids and give them a positive future?
It's like squares hiring squares, you know what I mean? Like, they you know, they can't relate. The person who's doing the hiring probably hasn't got the life experience, so they can't relate. Do you know, when really, like what you're saying, the kids will look up to someone who's actually been through it and turned it around, rather than some lemon who sat behind a desk with a piece of paper.
Exactly, but they can't help them kids out because they don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They don't have a clue about life. They don't even have a clue how to go about it. It's just all textbook for them. But really, you need real life experience to help these youngsters out, really.
And then they're scratching their head thinking, why is he behaving like this? I don't know why he's doing this. Why is he so rebellious? Why is he so angry? Because a frustrated little man there, do you know what I mean, who needed his dad or something, but you can't relate to that.
Exactly. They need someone relatable to show them the right pathway.
Exactly, brother.
Only that's it.
Yeah, man. But so I'm going to tag your Instagram. I'm going to put it in the comments of the video and tell everyone where to find you and stuff like that, and to look out for the walks and like the amazing things that you're going to be doing. And yes, so just to wrap it up now, I just want to say thank you for coming on the podcast, man. You know, we got it done, bro, man. Come on, man. Listen, the conversation's real and raw, man. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. But yeah, I just just a final message to anybody who's really going through any struggles with mental health, who might not be ADHD, might be the panic attacks, the anxiety and stuff like that, or someone who's just feeling unsure about themselves and their life. Like, what? Just share a few words.
Yeah, I just say to everyone, not everything's forever. Like I keep saying these metaphors of when you're at the bottom, you're at the top, but it's actually the truth. Like a lot of people, you're not alone in it. There's a lot more people in this world. Like the majority, 98% of people are going through hard, and maybe 100% of people they're going through something. And I think you're not alone in this. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there's always people to talk to. Like, there's two people here, me and you, bro. You're welcome to come to our DMs. You're welcome to come to our walks. You're welcome to come to anything you want. And it's like, just remember, you're not alone, and hard times never last. For every storm, there's sunshine.
Yeah.
And that's all I'd like to say. Our inbox is always open. If you need to ask anything or get any information on anything we've covered, you're welcome, and they're both open. If I can't be out, I'll pass on to Peter. If Peter can't be out, you pass on to me.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure it works. We're all there to help each other.
Yeah.
Apart from that, man, stay positive, stay strong. Keep up there, good.
Smashed it.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on, bro. Yeah, man.